Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Dr. Mommy Budgets and I am Amanda. Today I am here to do day 10 of the 12 days of Christmas. So for those that are new to my channel, welcome, and for those that are not new, welcome back. Today, as stated, I will be doing my day 10 of the 12 days of Christmas. And as you can see from the description below, we are going to be turning the camera within. So basically, this is probably going to be one of the more serious videos that I do. And because for those that know me, I'm pretty much a lighthearted person and just like to have fun, do a lot of joking. Of course, you know, I have my coffee here with me. But we are going to talk about knowing thyself. Okay? Knowing yourself. Now, I don't have any notes written down on this topic, so I am basically going to talk from the heart and, of course, the brain. But yeah, the only thing I have on my little notepad today is the title. And the title says, Know Thyself. So, what I'm thinking about when I think about this topic is, do you really know who you are? Do you really know who you are? Stop what you're doing and think about that. Do you really know who you as an individual, do you know who you are? So when I stop and I think about that topic, first thing that I do is peel off all the layers. Peel off all, A-L-L in capital letters, layers, okay? And what do I mean by peel off the layers? I mean, when I am analyzing myself, I am not talking about the items that I own, the people that I know, the job that I have or the position that I have, the business or businesses that I have. So yes, peel off all the layers. So basically, if you were just in a location somewhere all alone and you were forced to just deal with you, do you know who you are? So once I decided to peel off all the layers and just analyze who I am, the next thing is, well, the first thing I actually went to or started to think about after the fact was, what do I like? What do I not like? So I started to think through those things. The first thing that came to mind was, what do I like and not like? Or if you don't like to use those words, some people don't like using like and not like. Let's use prefer, desire, or the opposite. Do not prefer, do not desire. So the first thing I thought about was people. I went to people, individuals. And when I think about that from a people or human perspective, I'm thinking about qualities, characteristics, things that people do, things that people don't do. That's what I thought about first. And I was very genuine and honest with myself, which I would really recommend that you be, because remember, we're trying to get to a point to where we know thyself. where you really understand who you are, what you like, what you don't like. So the first one was people. You know, the type of conversation that I have with people. So you start to think about, what do you prefer? What type of conversations do you prefer to have with people? And if you need to write some of these things down, do it. Because there may be a lot of layers you have to work with when you're dealing with yourself. So, you know, what type of conversation do I like having with people? What type of conversation do I not like having with people? What type of things, activities, interactions do I like having with people? What type do I prefer not to have with people? So you have to be honest with yourself. So I really hope that you are diving deep into yourself to figure these things out from a realistic standpoint. Remember, we've already conquered the first layer. Peel off all the layers, or the first step. So you're not making these decisions based on outer influences. People, your corporate job, the things that you have in your life. You're not making these decisions based on that, okay? It's just you. So be realistic, honest with yourself. What do you not like talking to people about? What would you prefer to talk with people about? What do you prefer to do with people and not with people? And you can apply this to all aspects of your life. If it's just associates, if it's friends, if it's significant others, if it's husbands, wives, whatever you got going on, any sort of relationship in your life. You want to take the time to do that, okay? So once I dealt with the human perspective or standpoint, then I moved on to items in my life that I own, possessions, if you will. And as it relates to possessions, what do you prefer? I'm just kind of looking around because there are a lot of possessions right around me now. And what I have noticed is that as I'm getting older, I do not care about stuff, especially having a lot of stuff, items and that kind of thing. So probably, and not probably, in 2023, I am going to do what they call a decluttering. I just would prefer to have my space without all of the crowdedness. And a lot of times I think about things, the reason why I'm truthfully able to analyze this is because I think about things that I don't use or haven't used in like years. You know, if you got an item that's sitting in your closet. Now we're going to exclude decor because, you know, you buy these nice pieces for your home, I'm assuming, so that, you know, you can walk into that space and it can give you a pleasing, you know, feeling. You like the way it looks. It makes you, you know, you feel good when you walk and sit and entertain in those areas. But I'm thinking about things that you're supposed to like use regularly. For example, shoes and clothes. If there is a garment in your closet and you have not touched it in 10 years, it is time to get rid of it. Let's be honest and truthful with ourselves. Remember our title of this video. It's time to get rid of it. So that is where I know I'm gonna do some decluttering in 2023. Whenever I get around to it and feel like it is definitely going to be that. But yeah, I'm getting to that point where I don't care for and desire a lot of stuff. I'm dealing more along the lines of necessities. Okay? So those are the things you want to do as it relates to trying to figure out who you are, what you really like in life, where you're trying to go in life, what do you want to be, what truly makes you happy. And actually, if we're dealing with just that singular question, what truly makes you happy, then that question can be answered in like one simple statement. Now, it's not a simple task to take on. Let me be clear, it's not a simple task, but happiness comes from within. Happiness comes from within yourself. So that's why within this video, we're trying to discuss and talk through some things that would help you to know yourself from within. Okay? So now, back to the topic. We don't have long. We need to get this wrapped up. All right, so yeah, we have decided that we are going to think about those things that are external us that we particularly don't prefer to have or interact with, okay? i.e. things and or humans. Be honest, be realistic. Things you would prefer not to do with people, or things you would love to do with people, okay? So once you have that nailed down, then you are, well on your way. You want to, and this is just like almost every area of your life, you want to do this test or this activity. Things you prefer, things you don't prefer. As it relates to your finances, this is a finance channel. So if you're not liking the way your finances are going, you don't like the way they're looking, you don't like the amount of money that you have in your investment account, change it. And that may have to start with you, first off, being honest to yourself, knowing yourself. And if you're honest and you really know yourself and what you prefer and not prefer, you may not prefer hanging out with your girls. You may not prefer hanging out with your boys as often, because that is putting a dampening on your bank account. Be realistic. You need to live for you, not for another individual. That is the only way you are going to be happy in this life. That's the only way you're going to be truly happy. Would you prefer to be truly happy from within as an individual, or would you prefer to allow external situations, people, jobs, all these things that can fade away, for one, and for two, they are not in your control? Would you allow those things to dictate your happiness? You need to think about that. And a lot of times, in a lot of situations, that is what we're doing as individuals. You really need to stop it. Now, what's going to happen is there is going to be some uncomfortable situations when you decide to truly know yourself. Because there have been some time in your life where you have been operating on the basis of external things validating who you are. So, if that's the case, then yeah, you may have to back away from some encounters with people. Strike some people off of the friends list. Yeah, that's where it gets uncomfortable, because you've been doing that. Just think, you've been doing it for 20 years of your life. Now, you're deciding that you are getting nowhere with those type situations, and you really want to find your internal happiness. So now you're going to have to just kind of start weaning yourself off of these situations and these people. It's almost like an addiction. It is not going to be easy. You have been drinking for 20 years, right? For example. Then all of a sudden one day you decide, hey, this drinking is eating my liver up. That's what the doctor told me, so I need to stop. So you may not be able to do it cold turkey. It's going to be uncomfortable. There are going to be days you're going to want to drink. Do it in moderations, take it step by step. But yeah, that's going to be the same thing with your life and your happiness as it relates to people, external things. If you want to do the decluttering like myself, whatever it is, it's going to take a while, because as I go back there, I already know in 2023 and I get to decluttering my closet, I'm not just going to go in there and one day and just grab all those old clothes and throw them away. I'm going to start looking at them like, oh, I remember when I wore this to this pageant, or I wore this to this event, or you know what, this really does fit. you're gonna have all of those excuses. Yes, they are excuses for the reasons why you should keep them. So yes, changing your life, understanding who you are from within is going to be a challenge. It's going to be uncomfortable. But remember, on the other side of being uncomfortable is growth. On the other side of being uncomfortable, are benefits. And the benefits in this case will be that you will become more of a person that you desire to be in this world. You're gonna figure out who you are, what you really like and what you don't like. And so I'm just gonna leave you with this last little tidbit of information. When you're going through this process, one of the main things you will probably have to do is not be concerned with how people think, how people view you. That's the first thing you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to check that off the list first, or you pretty much may not ever get anywhere with this getting to a point of really being happy and knowing who you are in this life. And who wants to continue to live a fake life? You know what I mean? It gets tiring after a while. You're steady going to these gatherings, these parties, you're sitting around these people and you're laughing and talking, and you know that you don't want to be there. That's the true you, the one that's in that setting, in that atmosphere, and you got that little real you on this shoulder saying, you are not enjoying this situation, you don't want to be here. That's the one you need to talk to. But 9 times out of 10, we talk to the little person that's over here on this shoulder that says, yeah, you need to be there. You need to be more sociable. This is the way that people are going to like you. They're going to want to hang out with you when you do things like that. That is not the real you. You don't want to be there. So don't go. Like I said, it's going to be uncomfortable in the beginning. But hey, instead of doing 5 parties a month, take it down to 3. You don't have to do it cold turkey. And then eventually take it down to 1. So you want to get to a point to where you are living the true you. There is no fakeness going on in you. You are comfortable with you. You got to get to the point where you like you. A lot of people don't like themselves. So I really, really, really urge you to take on this challenge in 2023 as you move forward into the new year. Perhaps add this to your list of New Year resolutions. This is all I have for this day 10 of the 12 days of Christmas. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you're on that journey to knowing thyself. This is Dr. Mommy Budgets, where we dream big but start small around here. I will see you in the next video. Peace.